All right, so I'd like to welcome everybody. So I'm going to be reading one of these books that I purchased right here this early AM, and this will be on the Math 2 Con 2 channel, Puppets on Strings, special presentations, right? Usually breakdowns, but like I said, just going to be doing some reading this AM. And this is The Art of Living by Wilferd A. Peterson. Okay, what does this say right here? Walk with the dreamers, the believers, the courageous, the cheerful, the planners, the doers, the successful people with their heads in the clouds and their feet on the ground. Let their spirit ignite a fire within you to leave this world better than when you found it. Okay, so that's a quote here. And like I stated, this is a public stream. So I'll show y'all the book here real quick. So this is it right here. I showed you it last night during the live. Uh, right, right there, The Art of Living. And that kind of drew my attention as well. And I have a slide for like each chapter, but I wanted to look at something real quick before we get going. And this was only $7.99 at Half Price Books. When was it? Let's see. Copyright 1960. Okay. 1961. So they got 1960, 1961. So what? 40, about 64, 63, 64 years ago. So we'll get into it a little bit. I'll just leave that right there for now. All right, let me get rid of that. And I want to make sure that I'm being heard. That's my verification right there. I don't get any robot help over here, nothing like that. So anyone is welcome. Let me add a background though real quick here. All right, so right there, cool. That'll work. Okay, so we're here. Actually I need this book, right? So the first, let me go forward right here. So Wilferd Arlen Peterson was an American author who wrote for This Week magazine for many years. For 25 years, he wrote a monthly column for Science of Mind magazine. He published 9 books starting in 1949 with The Art of Getting Along, Inspiration for Triumph Daily Living. And, this isn't going to be a decode. We see a birthday, we see a death day right there. There's a lot going on just with what we see there, but we'll move forward. Okay, so The Art of Living right here. I took this picture out of my book, you see, by William A. Peterson, including 17 essays individually published in the pages of This Week magazine. There's my copy there, and you see 60, 61. So I'm going to read each of these. And it's not that big of a book, so this should be, but you see The Art of Giving. You see the list there. We'll just start, but you see it right there. Okay, so the first one, let me make sure I start right here, is The Art of Giving. All right, and you see we're going to have a slide to match. So in gratitude, now I see there's some references to God I see in here a lot, and to each their own, right? Is that how the saying goes? However anyone's opinion is on that. I'm spiritual, and I could see how someone could use the word God, right? Uh, so it in gratitude for God's gift of life to us, we should share that gift with others. It's almost like there's a God within us kind of playing, and it's, to be honest, there's almost like that duality with like a good and evil, God and Satan, right? So in gratitude for God's gift of life to us, we should share that gift with others. The art of giving encompasses many areas. It is an outgoing, overflowing way of life. Basically, we give what we are. The thoughts you think, wrote Matterlink, will irri- irradiate you. Not sure what that irradiate you. I'm not sure what that word is. As though you are a transparent vase. The gifts of things are never as precious as the gifts of thought. Emerson said it well. Rings and jewels are not gifts, but apologies for gifts. The only true gift is a portion of thyself, is this quote. I'm not sure who the Emerson character is here they're referring to. It's probably in the introduction. But anyways, I'll go forward here. Um, we give ourselves when we give gifts of the heart, love, kindness, joy, understanding, sympathy, tolerance, forgiveness. We give of ourselves when we give gifts of the mind, ideas, dreams, purposes, ideals, principles, plans, inventions, projects, poetry. We give of ourselves when we give gifts of the spirit, prayer, vision, beauty, aspiration, peace, faith. We give of ourselves when we give the gift of time, when we are minute builders of more abundant living for others. We give of ourselves when we give the gift of words, encouragement, inspiration, guidance. We should give of ourselves with the radiant warmth of sunshine and the glow of the open fire. We should give our community a good man. We should give our home a devoted husband and father. We should give our country a loyal citizen. We should give our world a lift toward that one far off divine event toward which all creation moves. The finest gift a man can give to his age and time is the gift of constructive and creative life. Okay, so this next one, this is going to be the art of traveling, right? When you pack your bags to explore the beauties of your own country or to travel around the world, consider these keys to a happy journey. All right, so let's see what he's talking about here. Travel lightly. You are not traveling for people to see you. Travel slowly. Jet planes are for getting places, not seeing places. Take time to absorb the beauty and inspiration of a mountain or a cathedral. Okay. Travel expectantly. Every place you visit is like a surprise package to be opened. Unite the strings with an expectation of high adventure. Travel hopefully. To travel hopefully, wrote Robert Louis Stevenson, is better than to arrive. Travel humbly. Visit people and places with reverence and respect for their traditions and ways of life. Travel courteously. Consideration for your fellow travelers and your hosts will smooth the way through most difficult days. Travel gratefully. Show appreciation for many things, okay, that are being done by others for your enjoyment and comfort. Travel with an open mind. Leave your prejudices at home. Travel with curiosity. It is not how far you go, but how deeply you go that mines the gold of experience. It says Thoreau wrote a big book about tiny Walden Pond. And I'm not familiar. I don't know what that is, but travel with imagination, as the old Spanish proverb puts it. He wrote, would bring home the wealth of the Indies, must carry the wealth of the Indies with him. Travel fearlessly, banish worry and timidity. The world and its people belong to you just as you belong to the world. Travel relaxed. Make up your mind to have a good time. Let go, and it says let God. Okay. Travel patiently. It takes time to understand others, especially when there are barriers of language and custom. Keep flexible and adaptable to all situations. Travel with the spirit of a world citizen. You'll discover that people are basically much the same the world around. Be an ambassador of good will to all people. Okay. So the next one, this is mastering fear, the art of mastering fear. Okay. So let's see. Fear is a wild horse that needs a tight rein, for it is both friend and foe. And this is what I was speaking about with that the God and the good and evil, or it's like the balance that they portray to us, isn't it? It says both good and evil, and to live effectively, a man must learn to master it. You see, that's definitely interesting. By utilizing the intuitive warning system of fear as a shield against real danger, by harnessing the energizing power of fear for flight or fight when an emergency strikes, by using the fear of insecurity, defeat, and failure as a lash and spur to high achievement, by guarding against fear's power to destroy through recalling the ancient legend of the plague that went to Baghdad to kill 5,000 people. 5,000 died instead, and when the plague was questioned, it replied, I killed 5,000 as I said I would. The others died of fright. Wow. By flooding dark corners of fear and superstition with the bright light of reason and knowledge, thus mapping the unknown, overcoming fancy with fact, dispersing hobgoblins of the imagination, and revealing the truth that sets men free. By accepting the fact that old age and death are natural and inevitable, that to fear them is futile. I don't know if it's futile or futile, but you kind of get what they're saying here. And that they can best be faced with a calm and quiet mind by ignoring them and gallantly living a day at a time. I got to be honest, I'm going to have to read this again personally, because there's probably something in here that maybe we each could battle with, right? And again, this is the art of living. Okay. Uh was it William? I want to get the name right. William, where's it at? Oh, I guess I'll just do this. Let's just do this real quick. Make sure yeah, Wilferd A. Peterson right there. Okay. So let's go back to fear right here. Okay, so mastering fear right here. Try to remember where I was here. Let me see. Let me see. By guiding, I think this is where I think this is where I am right here. If not, I may read a paragraph again. But by flooding the dark corners of fear and superstition with the bright light of reason. Okay, I read that. By accepting the fact that, okay, I read that. By finding inspiration in the words of Cardinal Newman, fear not that your life shall come to an end, but rather that it shall never have a beginning. Okay, wow. By willingly taking the risk of enriching adventures tinged with danger, knowing that the sheltered and protected life misses much, and that as the bard of Avon expressed it, cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Yeah. I mean, just talking about death, though, is leery, isn't it? By coming into alignment with the great spiritual laws of the universe and learning that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind, by discovering that the mightiest law of all is this: perfect love casts out fear, by beholding the power of faith to work miracles as expressed in these inspiring words. Fears knocked at the door, faith opened it, and lo, there was no one there. So that's mastering fear. Now, the next one, this is the art of being yourself. Okay. The art of being yourself at your best is the art of unfolding your personality into the man you want to be. And let's say woman as well. Okay. We're going to say man and woman as well. This is what, 1960, 61. I'm not seeing. But again, you can interpret this however you want to, because they can say the word God, right? And look, you can think of God as something that kind of keeps you in check, right? Within you as well. And think about God, if you look at it in reverse, how it's a dog. That's interesting also, right? But yeah, so yeah, they're gonna say man in here, which yeah, but woman as well. Whoever, alien, it doesn't matter who you are, right? And I want to make sure I'm still being heard. I'm not saying that I wouldn't be told or anything, but let me yeah, we're good. Okay, so we are good. Okay, so the art of being yourself, right? So into the man or woman you want to be. A famous biologist has said that the possibility of even identical twins being wholly alike is one chance to all of the electrons in the world. Each man is a unique individual being. By the grace of God, you are what you are. Glory in your selfhood, accept yourself, and go on from there. Makes sense, right? You don't want to waste time, okay? A good place to begin is by having faith in yourself and your destiny. Trust yourself, wrote Emerson. Every heart vibrates to that iron string. Champion the right to be yourself, dare to be different, and to set your own pattern. Live your own life and follow your own star. Respect yourself. You have the right to be here, and you have important work to do. Don't stand in your own shadow. Get your little self out of the way so your big self can stride forward. Make the most of yourself by fanning the tiny spark of possibility within you into the flame of achievement. Says, follow the advice of Socrates. Know thyself, know your strengths, and your weaknesses, your relation to the universe, your potential potentialities, your spiritual heritage, your aims and purposes. Take stock of yourself. Create the kind of self you will be happy to live with all your life. Consider the words of the new convert who prayed, "O Lord, help me to reform the world, beginning with me. Be gentle with yourself, learn to love yourself, to forgive yourself. For one, as we have the right attitude toward ourselves, can we have the right attitude toward others in the relationship of yourself with all the other selves of the world? Follow the wise axiom of Shakespeare, who wrote, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night, the day, thou canst not. I mean, whatever, however he wants to talk, but I can agree with what's being said there. So, the art of laughter. Hold on one second. Okay, so the art of laughter. Let me get a sip of my coffee. As we, I took a little bit. I took like a 4-hour nap. That's about as long as I take. But as I awake from that, I got to grab the coffee. Okay, so the art of laughter, y'all. Meet the challenge of life with the art of laughter. Okay, take a tip from Will Rogers, who observed people with laughter in his eyes and love in his heart, and declared, I never met a man I didn't like. And remember, every time I say man, woman, you got man and woman as well. Man comes from woman, right? So make that be clear. Okay. Learn laughter from little children by thinking their thoughts, dreaming their dreams, playing their games. And as I do read this, if they're going to refer to children, I do want to be careful, because I do know there's a lot of coded stuff within the language as well. This is questionable, and we know that from doing our daily decodes. Okay, so I always speak cautiously, and I always make it a point to say that. Okay, develop a playful attitude toward problems. Toss them around, handle them with a light touch. Man, I can agree with that 100%. Practice the advice of the psychiatrist who gives his normal patients this prescription. Don't take yourself so damned seriously. And especially in the workplace, y'all. Okay? And I know that's sometimes hard with the different personalities, but if you ever get to a place of just, be as comfortable as you can in the workplace, right? Because I mean, it's really, it could be a wear and tear in our body, that's for sure. So use laughter as a safety valve to keep yourself sane and relaxed. Emerson said it well. The perception of the comic is a tick of sympathy with other men, a pledge of sanity. We must learn by laughter as well by tears and terror. Remember the old proverb, a little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest men. Consider the power of laughter to prick the balloons of pretense and to deflate stuffed shirts. Inject laughter into tense situations to save the day. Laughter calms tempers and soothes jangled nerves. Use laughter to set healing vibrations into motion, to fill a room with the sunshine of good cheer. Guard yourself against the gloomy outlook by recalling the wise statement of Henry Ward Beecher, a man without mirth is like a wagon without springs. He is jolted disagreeably by every pebble in the road. Tell the funny story on yourself so that the laugh is on you. Always laugh with others, never at them. Look at the funny side of your difficulties. Impersonal contemplation is the secret of laughter and perspective. Most of all, learn to laugh at yourself. Meet each day with a sense of humor. Laughter is the best medicine for a long and happy life. He who laughs lasts. He who laughs lasts. Okay. So that's the art of laughter. Now, this next, I don't know, like mini chapter or whatever, it's like 2 pages, if that. The art of awareness. Uh, I don't know who the character is, but it says Thoreau wrote, "Only that day dawns to which we are awake. The art of awareness is the art of learning how to wake up to the eternal miracle." Let me move this real quick. Okay. So eternal miracle of life with its limitless possibilities. It is rising to the challenge of the stirring old hymn, awake my soul, stretch every nerve. And as I read, y'all, there's gonna be a word or two, maybe uh sometimes I overanalyze things. There's gotta be another little chapter in here for me, I'm sure. We probably already went over it with the fear thing, but let me just make that clear again. There's going to be a couple words maybe I say wrong, obviously. Awake my soul, stretch every nerve. It is developing the deep sensitivity through which you may suffer and know tragedy. Again, the art of awareness, and die a little, but through which you will also experience the grandeur of human life. It is following the philosophy of Albert Schweitzer, who teaches reverence for life. From ants to men, it is developing a sense of oneness with all life. It is identifying yourself with the hopes, dreams, fears, and longings of others that you may understand them and help them. It is learning to interpret the thoughts, feelings, and moods of others through their words, tones, inflections, facial expressions, movements. It is keeping mentally alert to all that goes on around you. It is being curious, observant, imaginative, that you may build an ever increasing fund of knowledge of the universe. It is striving to stretch the range of eye and ear. It is taking time to look and listen and comprehend. It is searching for beauty everywhere, in a flower, a mountain, a machine, a sonnet, and a symphony. It is knowing wonder, awe, and humility in the face of life's unexplained mysteries. It is discovering the mystic power of the silence and coming to know the secret inner voice of intuition. It is avoiding blind spots. In considering problems and situations, it is striving to see life steadily and see it whole. It is enlarging the scope of your life through the expansion of your personality. It is through a growing awareness that you stock and enrich your memory. And as a great philosopher has said, a man thinks with his memory. Okay. So that's the art of awareness. This is the art of thinking. Okay. And we're reading The Art of Living by Wilferd A. Peterson. And we had a 1960, 61-ish, both dates in here. Okay. right here, published by Simon and Schuster Inc. Rockefeller Center, 630 Fifth Avenue, New York. Okay. Yeah, all of so okay, so the art of thinking, y'all. Okay, the art of thinking is the greatest art of all. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The thinker knows he or she is today where his thoughts have taken him, and that he is building his future by the quality of thoughts he thinks. He recognizes his sovereign control of his own mind and decide. And you know what? I'm throwing the word woman in there, but honestly, there may be uh it may be something different, right? So that there is like a human nature thing with males and females. So I may want to just take it for what it says, because yeah, there's just he. So yeah, we'll just roll with that. But again, to each their own, right? So he recognizes his sovereign control of his own mind and decides what will enter his mental kingdom through his sense gateways. He thinks for himself, considers the evidence, seeks the truth, and builds his life upon it. He sets no limitations on the power of thought. He recognizes that big thinking precedes big achievement. He creates mental pictures of his goals, then works to make those pictures become realities. And again, these pictures aren't affiliated with this book. These are just pictures I took off of Google. Okay. He sets no limitations on the power of thought. He recognizes that big thinking precedes big achievement. He creates mental pictures of his goals, then works to make those pictures become realities. He knows that everything starts with an idea and that the creative power of thought is the greatest power in the universe. He sees with the single eye of intense concentration, seeking facts just as a powerful searchlight penetrates the darkness. He keeps an open mind of observing, analyzing, considering, questioning, looking for the hidden key which will unlock the problem. He thinks of his mind as a factory and gives it the raw material, the facts and data from which ideas are fashioned. He thinks both objectively and subjectively. He gathers mental power both from the world without and the mind within. He urges the magic power of his subconscious mind, commanding it to come up with ideas while he sleeps. He knows that thought, like a tree, grows night and day. He studies the laws of cause and effect and strives to work in harmony with them. He approaches problems both intuitively and logically. He uses the light as his imagination to create and his critical mind to judge. He tests inspiration with logic. He avoids the one track mind and sends his mind forth in all directions to expand the range of his mental horizons. He strives to develop a mature mind without losing the simplicity of childhood. He creates ideas with humility, knowing that behind the idea that he calls his own are the thoughts and efforts of many men. He realizes that he is at his creative best when he is in tune with the infinite, when he is open and receptive to higher powers of mind and spirit, He exercises his God-given power to choose his own direction, okay? And being within you, right? You have your own abilities to put out the energy. This is coming from me, to put out the energy to kind of create your own path. Now, you can influence, right? You know how you treat others, okay? It is true, you know, your the energy you put out is the energy you will receive. Even with me on a daily basis, you know, doing what I do, with doing decodes and uh showing patterns, these connections that show the world is kind of fake, right? Even with that, you know, there's negative that comes with it for sure. Okay. And you know, I gotta deal with that. It is what it is, right? But the whole basis of everything is positive as well. And again, that goes back to the balance. The balance. Okay. And that could be like a God within you. Think about it. We're raised and it's like, oh, there's a God. And then sometimes some people hear the word God, they're turned off. It's like, ah, church, God. I mean, it's think about it within you. Think about it, the God Satan thing and all that. In a way, it kind of keeps us in check because it makes you think of right from wrong, good from evil. And it's like, damn. And then it's hard to avoid a lot of the evil in the world. So that's interesting. I'm kind of That's kind of resonating with me as I read here. So that's the art of thinking. Uh, that's the art of thinking right there. Wow. He exercises his God given power to choose his own direction and influence his own destiny. And he tries to decide wisely and well. So the next one is the art of failure. Damn, this is going to be another one I might have to look at again. Shout out to the three people I see in here, no matter who you are, you know? So the art of failure, okay? He who hopes to avoid all failure and misfortune is trying to live in a fairyland. And this may end up being slightly over an hour. It wasn't the goal, but it is what it is. Uh, I'll try not, whatever, right? Maybe y'all are at work listening. It is what it is. Yeah, when you're at work, you need to balance it, know your value as well. But he who hopes, this is the art of failure. He who hopes to avoid all failure and misfortune is trying to live in a fairy land. The wise man realistically accepts failures as a part of life and but and builds a philosophy to meet them and make the most of them. He lives on the principle of nothing attempted, nothing gained, and is resolved that if he fails, he is going to fail while trying to succeed. He does not set for himself the impossible ideal of always being successful in everything. He does the best he can and then with a serene spirit accepts what comes. He learns from the scientist who said, at best, research is about 99% failure and 1% success, and the 1% is the only thing that counts. He finds courage in the pages of biography, which indicate that our greatest men failed many times. For instance, Louis Louis Pasteur Louis Pasteur was described as a scientific phoenix who arose triumphant from the ashes of his own mistakes. He recognizes that although he cannot always control what happens to him, he can always control how he responds to his failures. He observes that the only water that can sink a ship is water that gets inside of it. And so he strives to keep all thoughts of failure out of his mind. So this in this book here or whatever, so they're referring to a lot of these other quotes by these other characters, okay? And I'm glad that I'm going to get more into reading because I have a lot of books here and I need to do it more. Anyways, if I were to write a book, I would probably just, they would be all my quotes. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm just different like that. It's hard. It would be hard for me to quote referring to like these other characters that are out there. But I do agree with what they are saying. Okay, I do agree with that, and I probably will get. What does this say right here? And I probably will lose my space. He learns from the scientist who said at best research is about 99% failure and 1% success. That's interesting. And the 1% is the only thing that counts. He finds courage in the pages of biography, which indicate that our greatest men failed many times. For instance, oh, okay, I already read that. Damn. Okay, okay, so I'll just pick up here. He knows that when the blows of life knock a man down, the important thing is not to stay down. He develops the quality of bounce, rebounding from defeat as a rubber ball. Rebounds when you throw it to the floor. He knows that life has its rhythms and is the ebb and flow of the tide. So he learns to labor and to wait, giving time a chance to work its miracles. He uses the lessons of failure to build for the future. His mistakes become red stoplights, warning him away from highways that lead to defeat. He learns to fall forward like a good ball carrier in football to make the most of every failure. He rises to the challenge of failure, as did Mark Twain when he wrote, "A few fly bites cannot stop a spirited horse." He keeps on keeping on. He adopts talisman, as his talisman, the magic words of the ancient seer, "This too shall pass away." That's the art of failure. Now, this next one is the art of adventure. I want to make sure I don't skip a page. The art of adventure, y'all. So we are on, let me see. Let me get this going. So I'm on slide 15. Let me go back up here real quick. Okay, so we're on 15. So we're on the art of adventure. But let me show you this again. So we're on adventure. So you see, I'm gonna I'll try to pick it up. But it is what it is. I don't care if it's a little bit over an hour. So we're on the art of adventure. Let's go back over here. At some point, we'll balance out in the end, okay, y'all? A man practices the art of adventure when he heroically faces up to life, when he says, like Frank Crane, "My soul is a Columbus, and not watery wastes nor glooming mysteries shall send me back, nor make me cry enough." When he has the daring to open doors to new experiences and to step boldly forth to explore strange horizons, when he is unafraid of new ideas, new theories, and new philosophies, when he has the curiosity to experiment, to test, and try new ways of living and thinking, when he has the flexibility to adjust and adapt himself to the changing patterns of life, when he reuses to seek safe places and easy tasks, and has instead the courage to wrestle with the toughest problems and difficulties, when he valiantly accepts the challenge of mountaintop tasks and glories and a job well done, when he has the moral stamina to be steadfast in the support of those men whom he has faith, and those causes in which he believes. Okay. When he breaks the chain of routine and renews his life through reading new books, traveling to new places, making new friends, taking up new hobbies, and adopting new viewpoints, when he considers life a constant quest for the noblest and best, when he has the nerve to move out of life's shallows and venture forth into the deep, when he recognizes that the only ceiling life has is the one he gives it, and comes to realize that he is surrounded by infinite possibilities for growth and achievement, when he keeps his heart young and his expectations high and never allows his dreams to die, when he concludes that a rut is only another name for a grave, and that the only way to stay out of ruts is by living adventurously and staying vitally alive every day of his life. And it's different with everybody. With me, maybe like the knowledge I've gained about the world and the deceit, to me, that just it makes me feel some kind of power in a way. So that kind of makes me deal with a lot of these things as well, speaking from my perspective. So I guess, I don't know, knowledge is power. So that's the art of adventure. This is the art of selling. And let's see what this is about here. When everybody sells, good services and ideas move faster, and prosperity is achieved. Selling is not limited to people called salesmen, for we all have something to sell, and that includes you. 100%, right? And we're all pieces to a puzzle, y'all. It makes a situation work, okay? You're going to be in a situation where you got to be around people as well. Get in where you fit in, sell yourself, right? That's what I do. I sell myself into the situation that I'm most comfortable in, some kind of team environment. That's just for me. When everybody sells, we create a mental and emotional climate of friendliness and goodwill that makes buying a joyous, happy adventure. Customers are won and held through a multitude of acts and attitudes. Here are some of the things that represent the art of selling at its best: courteous words instead of sharp retorts, smiles instead of blank looks, enthusiasm instead of dullness, response instead of indifference, warmth instead of coldness, understanding instead of closed mind, attention instead of neglect, patience instead of irritation, sincerity instead of sham, consideration instead of annoyance, remembering people instead of forgetting them. And this is the art of selling, okay? Facts instead of arguments, creative ideas instead of the humdrum, helpfulness instead of hindrance, giving instead of getting, action instead of delay, appreciation instead of apathy. Everyone selling together blends hearts and minds and spirits, and the musicians in an orchestra harmonize musical tones to create a mighty symphony of prosperity. Let's earn more business by deserving the business we have. Let's roll out the red carpet for most important uh, person in the world, the customer. Let's everybody sell. At the same time I'm reading this, you want to be cautious and as well, because people will take advantage of you out there. But if everybody were on the same page, speaking of books, we wouldn't have to be like that, right? So the next one, the art of happiness, right here. You can't pursue happiness and catch it. Happiness comes up upon you unawares while you are helping others. The philosophy of happiness is pointedly expressed in the old Hindu proverb, which reads, "Help thy brother's boat across, and lo, thine own has reached the shore. Happiness is like perfume. You can't spray it on others without getting some of yourself. Happiness does not depend upon a full pocketbook, but upon a mind full of rich thoughts and a heart full of rich emotions. Happiness does not depend upon what happens outside of you, but on what happens inside of you. It is measured by the spirit in which you meet the problems of life. Happiness is a state of mind, Lincoln once said. We are as happy as we make up our minds to be. Happiness doesn't come from doing what we like to do, but from liking what we have to do. Damn, bars right there. Happiness comes from putting our hearts in our work and doing it with joy and enthusiasm, and that's true. Man, it's true. And think about it, and we don't really want to work. I don't really want to work. Speak for myself. Maybe like for yourself and do things work for yourself, but we really work hard out there to earn a living, right? Happiness grows out of harmonious relationships with others based on attitudes of goodwill, tolerance, understanding, and love. Happiness is found in little things: a baby's smile, a letter from a friend, the song of a bird, a light in the window. Happiness comes from keeping constructively busy. Creative hobbies are the keys to happy leisure hours and retirement years. The master secret to happiness is to meet the challenge of each new day with the serene faith that all things work together for good to them that love God. And again, God within you. That's how I interpret it. You know, the balance of good and evil, and just the balance of what we live in, which is this world. So that's the art of happiness. Now, the next one is the art of friendship. The first step in the art of friendship is to be a friend. Then making friends takes care of itself. To be a friend, a man should start by being a friend to himself, by being true to his highest and best, by aligning himself with the enduring, uh, lost my spot there. Oh, with the enduring values of human life that make for growth and progress. To be a friend, a man should strive to be like the shadow of a great rock in a weary land, to be a source of refuge and strength to those who walk in darkness. To be a friend, a man should believe in inherent goodness of man and in their potential greatness. He should treat men in a big spirit, expectant of noble response, and woman. To be a friend, a man should strive to lift people up, not cast them down, to encourage, not discourage, to set an example that will be an inspiration to others. To be a friend, a man should be sensitively responsive to the dreams and aims of others. All right, I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna skip a little bit ahead here as well, just because I do want to balance this out a little bit. To be a friend, a man should remember that we are human magnets, that like attracts like, and that what we give, we get. To be a friend, a man should recognize that no man knows all the answers, and that he should add each day to his knowledge of how to live the friendly way. Okay. So the art of friendship. And we have the art of personal efficiency. To manage others successfully, a man must first manage himself. Personal efficiency is creative self management. It is not getting ahead of others, but getting ahead of yourself It is having the drive to get started on the task at hand. Life leaps like a geyser, wrote Alex Carroll. For those who drill through the rock of inertia, it is experimenting to find the best, easiest, and quickest ways of getting things done. It is putting first things first, doing one thing at a time, and developing the art of intensive concentration. It is breaking tasks down into their smaller parts, simplifying the complex, finishing the big job one step at a time. It is not being a slave to system, but making system a slave to you. Oh, oh, oh. It is making notes and letting pencil and paper remember for you. It is using Kipling's Six Honest Serving Men. What and why and when and how and who and where. It is building the efficient mentality of balance, perception, organization, ability, and stamina. It is guiding your life instead of drifting. It is organizing your personal life for efficient living in all the important areas: work, play, love, and worship. It is making time for you by making the most of every minute. Okay. It is having a goal, mapping out a personal program of how to reach it, and yeah, so on and so on. Okay, so that's the art of personal efficiency. This is the art of relaxation. Okay. Modern men must learn to break the tensions of daily living, or the tensions will break him. He must learn to bend with the stresses and strains like a tree in the wind. He must develop the resiliency of spirit to spring erect again after the storm has passed. He first relaxes his mind by thinking thoughts of peace, quietness, and tranquility. He mentally pictures the placid pool amidst whispering pines and puts himself in tune with nature's calming mood. Okay, he exercises, walks, stretches, works in the garden, plays golf, knowing that physical tiredness invites relaxation and sleep. He uses the soothing beauty of great music to calm his nerves. He recognizes that relaxed living is a way of life and strives to manage body, mind, heart, and spirit as efficiently as he manages his business. Okay, so that's just simplified here. Okay, so the next one, the art of leadership. Am I on the right? Oh, I think that's leadership right there. Yeah. Yeah, that's leadership. That looks like leadership. Simply and plainly defined, a leader is a man who has followers. Okay. The leader deserves to have followers. I guess there's gonna be followers. That's just how it is, right? He has earned recognition. Authority alone is no longer enough to command respect. Wow. The leader is a great servant, the master of men. Expressed the ideal of leadership in a democracy when he said, and whoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. The leader sees things through the eyes of his followers. He puts himself in their shoes and helps make their dreams come true. The leader does not say get going. Instead he says let's go, and leads the way. He does not walk behind with a whip. He is out in front with a banner. The leader assumes that his followers are working with him, not for him. He considers them partners uh, in the work and sees to it that they share in the rewards. He glorifies the team spirit. All right. The leader does not hold people down, he lifts them up, reaches out his hand helps his followers scale the peaks, right? He's a self-starter. He creates plans, sets them in motion. The leader has a sense of humor. He is not a stuffed shirt. That's the second time they've said that. Stuffed shirt. He can laugh at himself. He's a humble spirit. Keeps his eyes on high goals, strives to make the efforts of his followers and himself contribute to the enrichment of personality, the achievement of more abundant living for all, and improvement of civilization. Followers should always strive to be leaders, though. The art of being is the assumption that you may possess this very minute those qualities of spirit, attitudes of mind that make for radiant living. It is a philosophy of being today instead of becoming in a tomorrow that never comes. It is recognizing that courage, joy, serenity, faith, hope, and love are immediately available now and proceeding to open yourself so these qualities can be expressed through you in everyday living. It is knowing that when we move into the future, it becomes the now, and that now is the appointed time. It is facing the fact that your biggest task is not to get ahead of others, but to surpass yourself. Okay. And I'm kind of skimming through these last few as well. Um, there's just a few, but we kind of get the hint here. It is, and this is the art of being. It is beginning today to be the man you want to be. It is developing an awareness of infinite possibilities in each magic moment. It is immortalizing the present moment that your life may have eternal significance. It is coming into a full realization that the Master voiced the secret of victorious being when he declared that the kingdom of God is not afar off, but that it is within you now. Damn, I was saying that. The art of reading. To practice the art of reading, develop a hungry, curious, questing mind uh, of then, and then seek your answers in books. You open doors when you open books. Okay? Uh, Doors that swing wide to unlimiting horizons of knowledge, wisdom, and inspiration that will enlarge the dimensions of your life. Through books, you can live 1,000 lives than one. You can discover America with Columbus, stand with Lincoln at Gettysburg, work in the laboratory with Edison, and walk the fields with St. Francis. Ah, that's BS. But yeah, knowledge is in books. Through books, you can encompass in your imagination the full sweep of world history. You can watch the rise and fall of civilizations, the ebb and flow of mighty battles, and the changing pattern of life through the ages. Through books, you can know the majesty of great poetry, the wisdom of the philosophers, the findings of scientists. Through books, you can start today where the great thinkers of yesterday left off. Because books have immortalized man's knowledge, thinkers dead 1,000 years ago are as alive in their books today as when they walked the earth. Read, then, from the vast storehouse of books at your command. Read several books at a time, turning from one to the other as your mood changes. That's what I do with decodes. A biography, a novel. Well, that is kind of like reading too, huh? A biography, a novel, a volume of history, a book about your business. Read something each day. Read to increase your knowledge, your background, your awareness, your insight. Read to lead, read to grow. The art of reading. Okay. And so the next one, the art of success. There are no secrets of success. Success is doing things you know you should do. Success is not doing the things you know you should not do. Success is not limited to any one area of your life. It encompasses all of the facets of your relationships. As parent, as wife or husband, as citizen, neighbor, worker, and all of the others. Success is not confined to any one part of your personality, but is related to the development of all the parts, body, mind, heart, and spirit. It is making the most of your total self. Success is harnessing your heart to a task you love to do. It is falling in love with your work. It demands intense concentration on your chief aim in life. It is focusing the full power of all you are on what you have a burning desire to achieve. Success is 99% mental attitude. It calls for love, joy, optimism, confidence, serenity, poise, faith, courage, cheerfulness, imagination, initiative, tolerance. Oh, I see a couple comments. I'll look eventually. Success is not arriving at the summit of a mountain as a final destination. It is continuing upward spiral of progress. It is personal, perpetual growth. I appreciate you being here. And I got a lot of them, and we're going to go over some of them for sure. Maybe not read every one because there's some big books, but we're going to definitely look at some of them. Uh, appreciate you. Success is relative and individual and personal. It is your answer to the problem of making your minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and years add up to a great life. Okay, so that's the art of success. And again, I'm kind of skimming over the last few here because I was trying to be around an hour. So if it's around an hour 30, okay. So the art, it says the art of thanksgiving. Okay. The art of thanksgiving is thanks living. It is gratitude in action. It is applying Albert Schweitzer's philosophy. In gratitude for your own good fortune, you must render in return some sacrifice of your life for other life. Interesting. It is thanking God for the gift of life by living it triumphantly. It is thanking God for your talents and abilities by accepting them as obligations to be invested for the common good. Thanking God for all that men and women have done for you by doing things for others. And me personally, I'm not thanking another being or individual like for anything. Like it's all within you. With me, I'm thankful for being able to. I'm thankful and humble for being here, and I want to make the best of it. That's just coming from me. So again, when they're referring to like God and all of that, it could be just put there to balance out and to know right from wrong. That's how I interpret it. But once again, it is thanking God for happiness by striving to make others happy. And think about yourself, I guess, in that light. Some look at that negatively, but we should have high standards for ourselves, right? It is thanking God for each new day by living it to the fullest, thanking God by giving hands, arms, legs, and voice to your thankful spirit, okay? It is adding to your prayers of thanksgiving, acts of thanksgiving, thanking God for beauty by helping to make the world more beautiful, okay? So that's a little bit of the art of thanksgiving. The art of achievement, right here, the art of achievement. You hold in your hands the camel's hairbrush of a painter of life. You stand before the vast white canvas of time. The paints are your thoughts. emotions, and acts. You select the colors of your thoughts. Drab or bright, weak or strong, good or bad. You select the colors of your emotions. Discordant or harmonious, harsh or quiet, weak or strong. You select the colors of your acts, cold or warm, fearful or daring, small or big. Through the power of your creative imagination, you catch a vision, your dreams. Dream. That goes for what you view, what you watch on the internet, what you view on YouTube, stuff like that as well too. It's all energy and music, you know? But we're deceived as well, so it's like it's tough, right? If I were to write a book, I would put that, how to balance and be happy in a fake world that has deceived you. That would be my book. You see what I'm saying? That would be my book. You know what I mean? And someone could even take it and use it. There's more. You see yourself as a master servant of the race, minister to the human needs, radiating happiness. This is the art of achievement. Each moment of your life is a brush stroke in the painting of your growing career. There are the bold sweeping strokes of one increasing dynamic purpose. There are the lights and the shadows that make your life deep and strong. There are the life touches that add the stamp of character and worth. The art of achievement is the art of making your life a masterpiece. Now, this is the art of staying young right here. Okay, the art of staying young. Still good on the mic. Still good on the mic. Okay, an hour 11, 7:19 a.m. here in Arizona. Okay, 7:19 here. The art of staying young. So what? We have just a couple more here. Okay. The art of staying young depends upon staying youthful on the inside in mind, heart, and spirit, in defiance of wrinkles and gray hairs. On the outside, the fountain of youth is within you. Staying young is an inside matter. Your body grows old, but your body is not you. We do not count a man's years, wrote Emerson, until he has nothing else to count. Damn. Stay young by continuing to grow. Ooh, bars. You do not grow old, you become old by not growing. That's why I picked this book too. I knew it was older. We don't need to refurbish, and add and change. This is where it's at. Stay young by hanging on to your dreams. A philosopher writes, there is not much to do but bury a man when the last of his dreams is dead. Stay young by keeping your mind alive and alert. Scientists have found that the ability to think does not decline with advancing age. The only difference may be a slight decrease in the speed of thinking. Stay young by forcing your mind out of old ruts. Remember that beaten paths are for beaten men. See new places, read new books, try new hobbies. Increase the depth of your life. Stay young by remaining flexible, adaptable, and open minded. Do not permit your mental arteries to harden. Stay young by keeping constructively busy. Set yourself new goals for achievement. Stay young by tackling new projects. The man who planted a tree at 90 was a man of vision. Okay? Start ideas and plans rolling that will go on long after you are gone. Stay young by doing good. Work for worthy causes in your city, state, nation, and world. Stay young by keeping your heart young. All right? It is not a bad practice for a man many years to die with a boy heart. Okay? What does this say? Stay young by taking inspiration from the young in spirit who remain creatively active all of their lives. Gaethje or Goat. I don't know. I don't know who that. Oh, Faust. Ghost Faust. Gaethje Faust. Something at 80. Titan painting masterpieces at 98. Toscanini conducting at 85. Justice Holmes writing Supreme Court decisions at 90. Edison busy in his laboratory at 84. Ben Franklin helping to frame the American Constitution at 80. So the art of staying young. So now we have the art of work. Now we have the art of work, and then we just have one more after that. Okay. Work brings man to life. And we need to pay attention to this one because I don't like going to work, but when you're there doing it, it's like, okay, I get this certain kind of feeling, but then when I get tired and my feet hurt, I'm done, right? But work is man in action, doing things. Nothing happens until people go to work. That's true. I mean, even if you're at home in your home life, it's like you're still working. Too bad we can't do that for a living. Well, I guess we could, but work creates the world we live in. It really does. The right attitude toward work multiplies achievement. The art of work consists of what you think about your work. Damn, that's 100% true. But how and what you do about your work, it is abolishing the concept of work as chains of slavery. Damn. And seeing it as freedom to create and build and help. It is. I mean, I know for a lot of y'all, like we got to pay bills. I know. But this is kind of like the true happiness of making it work somehow, some way. It is idealizing your work, turning a job into a mission, a task into a career. It is doing your present work so well that it will open doors to new opportunities, tasks done at a high standard, pave the way to better things, bigger things. It is glorifying your work, putting a halo around your job, working with enthusiasm, recognizing with Maxim Gorky that the game is not only worth the candle, it is worth the whole bonfire. It is recognizing that work, not repose, is the destiny of man. It is only through work that you can express yourself and make a contribution to human progress. It is going to your work as you go to worship with a prayer of thankfulness and the aspiration to serve. James W. Eliot said it all in 9 words: work is life, and good work is good life. Yeah, maybe like working for yourself. Well, you got to make the best of it, right? Not everybody's in the same position. What's up, Richard? Glad you're here. We're on the art of living forever. I like that pick. Shout out to you, Richard. Appreciate you and your work. No man stands alone. The art of living forever. The last one, y'all. Through all the centuries of recorded time, men have set into motion influences that affect your life today. You are the heir of the ages. Men reaching for the stars have created for you a world of wonder and challenge. Living in you now are the ideals of the ragged soldiers of Valley Forge, the gallant pilgrims, the daring explorers and pioneers, the fighters for freedom through all history. On a more intimate note, your mother, father, teacher, clergyman, friend have built their influences into your character. Example has immortal momentum. Uh, it has been truly said that a boy does not have to be shown a mark on the wall to measure up to it. When there is a man around about the size he wants to be, Mentor Graham, teacher of Lincoln, is forgotten, but his influence lives forever. Okay? In the man for ages. Words are charged with everlasting power. The radiant words of the Sermon on the Mount light the spirits of each generation. The axioms of the great inspire men to rise on stepping stones of their dead selves to higher things. Simple words expressing courage, faith, and love have immortal significance in the lives of millions. As you help men grow, as you work for peace, understanding, and goodwill, your influence will merge the good influences of men of every age into the eternal golden stream of God's goodness. I don't like the golden stream thing, but look what they do with the language. Look what they do with the language and the words. As you throw the weight of your influence on the side of the good, the true, and the beautiful, your life will achieve an endless splendor. It will go on in others, bigger, finer, nobler than you ever dared to be. And I do got like a little sun in the thumbnail too. Sun is life. So, about the author, there's my copy right there. About the author, William A. Peterson, a writer and an editor, was born in Whitehall, Michigan. He is a longtime resident of Grand Rapids, where he is vice president and creative director for the advertising firm, the Jaqua Company. And this is from 60 to 68, or 61 is the date with the book here. And there's a lot of quotes referring to other characters. It says introduction by William J. Nichols. I didn't read that. It says 23 essays on the art of living. I forgot to say that. Yeah. And let me show you something that came with the book here, and then we're going to get out of here. Damn, I'm ready to cuss. That hurt. Like, damn, that hurt what I just did right there. I don't think that was. Damn, that hurt. I just touched a light bulb. Holy crap. I don't think that was safe. Look, this was inside the book I bought. Look, The Art of Marriage. I'm not going to read it. Look, The Art of Marriage is like a news clipping that's inside the book. Oops. Somebody had in there, I guess. It's I got it at Half Price Books here in Mesa, Arizona. All right, y'all. I wasn't planning on getting on camera, but so that's there. Wilferd, Arlen Peterson, The Art of Living. I'm glad y'all joined me. A little longer than I thought, but we're going to be doing this again for sure, and we may skim through some other books. I know, Richard, you got to. We could have if we weren't deceived, and that's a whole nother topic. Okay, if we weren't deceived by celebrities and households being divided, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, we have to take responsibility. Oh, I appreciate you, Ahmed. I didn't see you in here earlier. And again, towards the end, I skimmed through a little bit, but not much. But anyways, so we're around an hour and a half. So I appreciate y'all big time. You know what we're gonna do tomorrow AM? I think we're just gonna go live and do a decode just on some trending stuff, and we're gonna do it all on the fly. That's what we're gonna do for about an hour tomorrow AM. We're gonna mix it up like that. Appreciate you, Richard. Yeah, boy. Ahmed. Dabrul. Appreciate y'all. The Art of Living. Wilferd A. Peterson. This will remain This will remain on Math2Con 2, Puppets on Strings. If you click somewhere around the video more, maybe if you want, you could subscribe, and there's all the other channels as well. Okay, we do this all the time. Okay, and I am Matthew J. O'Connor. Appreciate y'all. The Art of Living, Wilferd A. Peterson. Okay, some of my books, this is one of them. Until next time.